Most people stay broke their entire lives. They work hard, they save a little, and they wait for a retirement that always seems just out of reach. But wealth doesn't grow in a straight line. It doesn't happen by slowly adding a few dollars to a savings account every month for 40 years. Real wealth happens in surges. Most people stay stuck in the grind until they hit one of these 3 tipping points. Today I'm revealing the exact net worth milestones that can make your wealth grow faster than ever without relying on luck, lottery tickets, or high-stakes gambling. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to suddenly get rich after years of being average, while others grind for decades and never see their bank account move? It isn't magic, it's math. If you feel like you're running on a treadmill, this is the map that shows you where the exit is. I have spent years analyzing the habits and the data behind net worth growth, and I've seen the same patterns repeat regardless of the industry or the starting point. By the end of this video, you will understand the 3 net worth tipping points that cause exponential wealth growth. You will learn how to recognize when you're approaching them, and more importantly, the practical tips to hit these milestones faster than the average person. We are going to cover everything from the psychological shift of your first $10,000 to the massive acceleration that happens at $100,000. But pay close attention because the last tipping point is the most powerful. It is the stage where your money finally starts working harder than you do, and unfortunately, it's the stage where most people give up just before they arrive. Most people never reach the 3rd tipping point, and that's exactly where real financial freedom happens. To understand these tipping points, we first have to understand why they matter. Net worth is not just a number on a screen, it is a measure of your momentum. Think of wealth like rolling a snowball down a hill. At the very top, you're struggling just to pack the snow together. You're pushing a tiny, heavy ball, and it feels like you're putting in massive effort for almost no gain. But once that snowball hits a certain size, gravity takes over. It starts picking up more snow with every rotation, growing larger and faster, even though you aren't pushing any harder. This is the concept of compounding wealth. Early on, your gains are small and insignificant compared to your labor. But after hitting certain thresholds, the growth becomes explosive. Reaching these tipping points isn't about luck. It is a calculated combination of your total income, your savings rate, your investment strategy, and your patience. It's like planting seeds that eventually grow into a forest. You don't see the forest on day 1, but if you stop watering the seeds, you'll never see the shade. The first major milestone is what I call the $10,000 to $20,000 launch pad. When your net worth hits this range, everything changes psychologically. Up until this point, most people are living paycheck to paycheck or are one car repair away from a financial crisis. Reaching $20,000 is the first time you actually feel the lift. It matters because it builds the confidence that the system works. It proves to you that you are capable of discipline and that you can actually accumulate capital. This is the level where you stop being a victim of your bills and start becoming a manager of your future. At $10,000, you have a buffer, you have the ability to take small risks or leverage opportunities that broke people simply can't afford to look at. To get to this first tipping point faster, you have to be aggressive. This is the only stage where your savings rate matters more than your investment returns. At $5,000, a 10% return is only $500. That won't change your life, but saving an extra $500 a month will. You need to automate your savings immediately. If the money stays in your checking account, you will spend it. You should also consider micro investments or small side hustles to bridge the gap. Think of someone who starts with nothing, works a few extra hours a week, and puts every extra penny into a high yield account or a simple index fund. Suddenly they look up and they have $15,000. They aren't rich yet, but they have something more valuable. They have momentum. If you're currently under $5,000, your only job is to get to $10,000 by any legal means necessary. This is your foundation. Once you leave the launch pad, you head toward the second tipping point, the $100,000 momentum machine. This is a legendary milestone in the world of finance. Why is $100,000 a total game changer? It's because this is the point where compound interest stops being a theory and starts being a visible force. At a 7% annual return, a $100,000 portfolio earns $7,000 a year without you lifting a finger. That is more than $500 a month of passive growth. Now the snowball is starting to roll on its own. This milestone enables you to diversify into real estate, more sophisticated stock portfolios, or even private business ventures. To reach the $100,000 mark faster, you have to fight the biggest enemy of wealth, lifestyle inflation. As your income grows and your net worth climbs, the temptation to buy a better car or a bigger house becomes overwhelming. But if you can keep your expenses flat while your net worth climbs towards six figures, you create a vacuum that pulls wealth toward you. You need to focus on increasing your primary income streams while maintaining the same discipline you had at the $10,000 mark. Imagine a graph where your effort stays the same, but the curve of your wealth starts to bend upward. At $20,000, the line is flat. At $100,000, the line starts to point toward the sky. This is where the momentum becomes undeniable. But don't get comfortable here, because as exciting as six figures is, it's only the precursor to the real wealth explosion. The third and final tipping point is the $1 million wealth explosion. This is the milestone that changes the rules of reality. Why does $1 million matter so much? It's because at this stage, your investments generate significant life-altering passive income. If you have $1 million invested and the market has a standard 10% year, you just made $100,000 while you were sleeping. For most people, that is more than their entire annual salary. This is the tipping point where money starts working significantly harder for you than you work for money. You no longer work because you have to. You work because you choose to. The psychological and financial freedom that comes with $1 million net worth allows you to take calculated risks that can double or triple your wealth again in a fraction of the time it took to get the first million. You can leverage debt more effectively. You can access exclusive investment tiers, and you can weather any economic storm. I've seen countless stories of individuals who spent 15 years grinding to hit their first million, only to see their net worth jump to 2 million just 3 or 4 years later. That is the wealth explosion in action. To reach this milestone, you must focus on high-impact investing and compounding multiple income streams. You have to stay disciplined and avoid the rich person traps that catch people who think they've already won the game. True net worth growth at this level is about preservation and strategic scaling. Let's recap what we've covered, because these milestones are your roadmap to financial freedom. The first tipping point is the $10,000 to $20,000 launch pad. This is about momentum, building confidence, and proving you have the discipline to save. The second tipping point is the $100,000 momentum machine. This is where acceleration kicks in and your investment power becomes a real factor in your daily life. Finally, the third tipping point is the $1 million wealth explosion. This is where you achieve true freedom, and your capital does the heavy lifting while you focus on the bigger picture. Knowing these points is vital because it allows you to track your progress and stay motivated when the middle part of the journey feels slow. You aren't just saving money, you are moving toward a specific threshold where the physics of your finances will change forever. Now you know exactly when your net worth truly starts to take off. Don't just wait for luck to find you. Take action today to move toward your next tipping point. Whether you are at 0 or 50,000, the strategy remains the same. Keep your expenses low, keep your income rising, and keep your investments consistent. Which tipping point are you at right now? Are you just starting at the launch pad, or are you feeling the momentum of the machine? Comment below and let me know your current goal. I'll be responding to the most interesting comments to help you figure out your next move. If you found this breakdown valuable, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive into the mechanics of wealth. If you want a step-by-step plan to hit that $100,000 milestone even faster, you should watch this next video on the screen right now. Your financial explosion is closer than you think, but only if you keep pushing that snowball. I'll see you in the next one.